Hello, everyone. I'm Rowdy Roddy Sniper, joined by Sheep Launcher in the booth here, and welcome to our Sunday Community Club Showcase as we have the Baron Heroes Journey Club with the Archer Rosa flag set. Sheep, welcome back. Back in the club season after the successful ZZ6 tournament, and we are kicking off here with Rosa going a little bit out of her element today.
It's always great to be here. Great to kick off the club season with you, Roddy, along with our restreamer Alchemy, our tracker Falgren today. And this is going to be, I think, more wacky than most. We have Rosa going full archer mode, and the wacky flag is Sky Warriors. Everybody will be floating, and every enemy will be flying. So it will really pay to have lots of folks who are handy with that bow and arrow. The kind of meta goal for the race today, Rosa, as great as she is restricted from using any white magic. Rosa is on archer duty only.
Yeah, that's it's one thing to give up the healing. It's another thing to have to give up the berserk, her ability to berserk herself to get her going, or blink herself to protect herself. So we'll see how these runners react to that. We also have a couple of interesting objectives. They are all thematic because that is what Alchemy has put together here with the Baron's Hero Journey Club. Is that we are all looking at retelling of a story for the characters. So Rosa will be the one who liberates her hometown of Baron, saves the captive on the Tower of Zat, and then we'll be taking on the two normally flying enemies. But if I remember correctly on the Sky Warriors flag, they're grounded today.
Oh, that's true. So it'll be extra tough to defeat them. And the restriction on Rosa doing any white magic is especially painful because all of our runners have to complete the Tower of Zot, giving Rosa that elusive exit spell. All that effort in return for Rosa not getting anything except a key item and two extra characters. We have Tybalt, a stalwart of the club season, on the left, and Stony on the right, with a very fetching window color, if I may say so myself. Both of them start with Rosa, of course. Now, there is Rosa is the hero in this, and Rosa will feature, and it is permajoined, so our runners have to be selective about who they introduce into the party. Stony, at least, is underway. We are glad to have you with us. Rosa joined by Yang, receiving a vanilla package from Valvalis. Lots of healing items, and we'll talk more about the flags as we go on. Stony will leave Yang behind.
Yeah, makes sense. Young is a great character, but needs a lot of levels to get up to that point to where he can really punch. And with Permajoin, like you said, you're making a commitment to that character being your party for the rest of the seed. And you don't necessarily want Young early game if you can help it in this setting.
No, there will probably be other places where you can find Yang. There are no free character slots in this flag set, but there are 3 restricted characters. Cecil, Edge, and Fu are all restricted, so Yang will likely pop up somewhere along the line. Stony heading to the Watery Pass. The treasure set is pro in this flag set, and the items that you get only sell for a quarter of their value rather than the standard half. But it's worth it to pick up some things, even if just to sell. Shops are wild.
Yeah, and Stony getting rewarded for this Watery Pass. We'll get back to the shops wild in a second. That's a heroine robe, which means that Rosa gets a lot of speed and a lot of power. In addition to that samurai bow and arrows, she's gonna make good work of this overworld by herself.
Now, one thing that Stony did find in the Watery Pass that would normally be a nice little pickup, a Gaia Drum, which is funny. All the enemies are flying. Gaia Drum's practically useless.
Yeah, and we see on Tybalt's side that S Wild you were talking about. There's gold apples, which can raise your max HP by 100 gold, but they're very expensive. More importantly, though, exit items, so can easily get out of those dungeons very quickly.
Yeah, Porum will be able to cast exit, certainly Tella, if and when he shows up. But until they do, and are you really willing to commit a character slot to Tella if Rosa's not allowed to use white magic at all? One of those things that our runners will have to balance. But Tybalt heading to Village Mist with that package, going to enter in from the side to check the shops, check the couple items there before fully committing to the package check.
Yeah, that makes sense. You kind of want you've got Edge, you've got Cecily, you've got Fusoya making his return to the flag sets as well after a nice break during ZZ6. It's worth checking these restricted character slots for those characters because you generally are going to want those in your party.
We do have an interesting question in chat. I was talking about the Gaia Drum item casting Quake against enemies being pretty useless. If Sid comes along, does that Earth Hammer suffer similarly? And I think Alchemy put it best. The Earth Hammer is a good weapon for Sid, even if its Quake item ability is kind of nerfed. It still has enough attack power and enough buffs to make that worth it. But Tybalt finding Fusoya and Tybalt gonna stick around for these clouds to to envelop Mist, going to pick up that mob.
All right, Stony checking out Antlion Cave and finding Baigen. Again, look at that. 2,000 damage at level at base level with the heroine robe, a samurai bow, and 20 samurai arrows. Yeah, this is early game power is not going to be a problem, which is going to be good because Fusoya starts off with just a couple of spells and 500 HP. We have to clear boss spots to give him unlock more of his spells and max HP. As Stony gets a Twin Harp for making short work of that Baigen. So definitely going to be able to get that Fusoya powered up very quickly. Hopefully, get like Virus or really get lucky and get an early nuke.
Yeah, that Baigen went by real fast. And now Stony has an interesting dilemma. Twin Harp is the chat favorite. It's certainly our favorite up here in the booth, but it is a long check. And you saw how Rosa was just shredding enemies. Is it really one of those checks you need to make at this point? Stony's going to see who's up here on Hobbs.
Yeah, we do have 2 boss hunts in play. We are looking for Mylon Z. We're looking for Plague. Also, there is an item behind the Demus, which we saw having lunch with Edward at the Baron Inn on Tybalt's side. So at least that's accounted for. We don't have to go hunting for that to get one of our key items. This is 5 out of 5 objectives, so the runners will have to clear all 5 of these. So if something's buried or one of these bosses hidden behind the second boss in Giant, or we're going to see the pack. We saw the package. Unfortunately, that's off the table. But we've got they are going to have to potentially have an extended hunt for one of these bosses.
Now Kane is up on Hobbs, and Stony thinks Kane would be a worthwhile addition to their party. I certainly agree with this decision. Kane very good against floating enemies. That jump command does Bafo damage against them, and if you get a wind spear or something like that, that adds up the multipliers as well. So Kane hops aboard Stony's party.
Yeah, one thing to note is that the back row glitch is off, so Kane will have to move to that front row unless he's jumping in order to take advantage of it.
Now, Stony doesn't have the wind spear or anything like that yet. A dwarf axe will do just fine for now. Wind spear is actually for sale in in why do I want to say Kabul? In the desert oasis. So the so wind spears are available, making mincemeat of these flying enemies.
Tybalt now cleaning up some of these early boss checks. I do like this. In fact, especially like it since one of our objectives is right there.
Yes, plague, still floating actually, but or at least the floating animation is there. But that is an objective. Tybalt has 4 to go now, and not only does Tybalt get an objective, but also he gets 3 more spells for Fu, and I believe one of them was exit.
Yeah, that was
Tybalt's in
exit there.
business. CPU in the waterfall. Tybalt will take it. I imagine a waterlogged CPU probably voids the warranty.
It's just the newest in liquid cooling. But yeah, these are fights that normally the runners would be just resetting out of and not worrying about. But with Fusoya needing to defeat bosses in order to get those spells back, yeah, this is a good investment of time here.
And in case it has been a while since you've seen Fu on a flag set, the Fusoya challenge, instead of him joining your party with 1900 HP and his full complement of spells, the Fusoya challenge starts him off with 1000 HP. He gains 100 HP with each boss defeated, as well as unlocks 3 new spells, which are randomized. The spells that he could get weighted. Stony did defend Fabul against Kainatsu and got a magma key for his efforts, so Stony can get underground. This is a wide open seed, Roddy.
Yeah, no, have the underground available. Again, with that ridiculous power that these runners have right now, I don't blame Stony for taking the time to go do ordeals. Hasn't seen the D-Mist, hasn't seen the Plague, so looking for 3 bosses, this makes a lot of sense to check these 3 spots, and going to be very happy if he checks if Stony checks the package and gets their Lunarian.
Another samurai armor for Tybalt. There have been a few of those lying around, including one in the back of the waterfall. So the first boss on ordeals for Stony is either Rubicant or Elements, not one of the required bosses. Will we get all the leg or just a quarter? So there's Mylon Z, but as part of a package. And we don't even get our quarter leg. Rosa's just too strong.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, but this will slow things down a little bit. Back attack Golbez.
Yeah, he's got talking to do, and he doesn't care who hears it. Funny place for a comedy club up on the top of the mountain, but that's where Golbez is today.
But there are a couple benefits here. Number 1, only 2 party members, so the Shadow Dragon isn't going to actually take out anybody. It'll just kind of go off and wander off chasing after a car or something. And Rosa, having the heroin robe, can't be paralyzed, so she can just get a Star Veil up or just start shooting at Golbez and take him out, hopefully before he can hit those pretty strong magic spells.
Yeah, did get an early shot off on a Golbez, so it shouldn't be too much longer now. And now I'm picturing like what Golbez's cape would look like floating in the wind.
And there is a reset from Stony on that. The magic power at that spot is not a joke, especially with Virus and Lit 3 in the repertoire there. So, yeah, And even though with Rosa having that heroin robe, she's going to be very fast. Just sometimes the boss spots are faster. Tybalt ran into that during the fighting the CPU at the waterfall. Had to take another stab at it because that spot's blazing fast for the overworld.
It sure is. I think it is the fastest spot on the overworld in the waterfall. Even though there isn't a ton of HP there, it can certainly catch folks unaware. Tybalt taking this fight on Hobbs, leaving the Dragoon off to the side for now.
Yeah, again, quick fight. Another 3 spells on Fusoya, another 100 max HP. You know, don't mind taking this at all. Again, Rosa just melting pretty much everything here. I think even Fu did 500 damage with iron arrows and an elven bow. So the times two damage multiplier for the air element definitely coming into play here.
Now, you did mention, Roddy, the back row glitch is off, but did you notice what glitch is on in this flag set? The MP underflow glitch is on, which can make Fu even more powerful.
Yeah, if we get early nuke or even Meteo, that can be used to get some extra casts of it off without having to worry about healing too much or stopping to refill it too much. Though Alchemy was very generous with the starting kit. We got the archer kit to get Rosa some early offense, and then we got 70 cure 2s, 70 life potions, and 70 heal potions. So we're pretty good. We're pretty good on healing items.
Well, Gomez's floating did not save him from getting thrown off the bridge. Stony does defeat Golbez at that spot. There's not much here in the changing room that would concern me if I were Stony, but I think the safety save there is very wise.
Tybalt getting his magma key now as Stony gets a ninja star.
And has to face off against Octomam. Not an issue.
Nope, Rosa is not squidding around in this flag set.
You ever had sushi so good it made you float?
Actually, yes, and I have.
Yes.
Now I'm sad because it's been like 10 years since I've had it.
Tybalt visiting Silvera.
Yeah, looking.
And Stony had already been here. I want to say there wasn't much here. An Excal. If Cecil shows up.
Excal, Tybalt picking up a boomerang because they didn't check the watery pass. Tybalt didn't check the watery pass, did he?
I don't think so.
So there was also a full moon in there. Yeah, there's no full moon in that inventory. He would have gotten that as well because that buying that boomerang to help in case an edge shows up early enough to use. So yeah, that's interesting.
Moonveil's also for sale in Silvera. Very expensive, but very nice to have.
Yeah, the Moonveil is it can be a get out of jail free card against some very nasty bosses because it not only puts a long lasting wall on your character, but it puts up the barrier status for a very long time as well. It means you just have a permanent blink for a while.
And for a long while, it lasts some time. It's not forever, but with the way that Rosa is mowing down enemies, probably long enough to take on any enemy in this flag set.
More than likely, yeah.
And Stoney's going to drop the magma key into the well to be the first of our runners to head into the underground. Well, that's gone.
Yeah, hopefully once Stoney's done the underground, Stoney will go in and start checking out some of those other, check out the mist cave to clean up that plague fight, and then get that demist and whatever else is at Baron in.
Yeah, might be just dropping it in on their tour of the overworld. Might just be wanting to check out what's in the underground. Uh, Roddy, what would be your kind of first priority if you were to head into the underground at this point?
I would definitely be checking out the. I would go to the Fey Marsh first. Check out the Land of Summon Monsters. Check my freebie. See what the two bosses are down there because I'm still looking for, in Tybalt's case, one boss, and Stoney's case, three of them. So I think I would prioritize that. The only other thing that would kind of adjust that is, and I haven't seen if Tybalt's Fusoya has gotten warp yet.
Mm,
If I had warp, there is another glitch we can take advantage of, and that
yeah.
is the warp glitch in Dwarf Castle.
And Stony heading to Mist, going to pick up that foo, and that makes the underground even more enticing if that foo does have warp. Because I was gonna say, Stony's party has a fighting shot at taking care of Dwarf Castle right now. Wouldn't be easy, but could happen with Fu, with some of the spells that we've seen Fu pick up on Tybalt's side. I think Stoney's Fu would have a good chance to help this party kind of clear through some of those tougher underground bosses.
Yeah, agree there. Seeing some tier 3 elemental spells and virus, which wonderful mid game spell.
Hmm.
I do like Stoney's chances in Dwarf Castle better than I do Tybalt's at the moment because of that heroin robe. Just making Rosa that much more effective of a fighter.
Yeah, Stoney's Rosa has been putting up a bit bigger numbers because of that heroin rope. And again, Stoney went to the Watery Pass to start off with, so got early samurai gear, got early heroin rope, got an early full moon in case that edge ever shows up.
Yeah, Restreamer Alchemy pointing out that the not only does the heroin robe make boost the offensive capabilities, it is very strong defensively as well.
Yes.
You can take some fights that you normally wouldn't be able to take just because of the defense and the evasion that it has.
Yeah, each runner having one wipe so far, and there wasn't much any armor could do against either of those fights. Tybalt got globed against the CPU in the waterfall. Stony got Golbez'd. Back attack just got outspeeded with some level 3 spells. So not much any armor could have done in either of those circumstances, but certainly something to look for going forward.
Yeah, both runners kind of following, tracing each other's steps. Stony catching some of the checks in, getting the package that Tybalt had gotten early game, or checking the package character that Tybalt had gotten in the early game. Really, the only difference is checking the Mist Cave and the Watery Pass, but that Stony hasn't done yet. Which, again, hopefully, Stony will need to do the Mist Cave to get that plague.
Yeah, and the with that food, that will be extra incentive for Stony to go for those 2 free bosses to get 6 free spells, and that should push him toward the Mist Cave, and in fact, it does.
Yep. So, a blink and you miss a plague, most likely.
Mhm. Just like the Karate Man in the Kaipo, and was blink and you missed it as well. Didn't even have a chance to say ouch.
Ooh,
A
there's an
Gungnir
Avenger.
Spear.
I saw the Avenger too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like Tybalt selling everything in the inventory. That S quarter coming into play here. Going to be short on both the Avenger and the Gungnir on that, unfortunately. So might go check out some loot in Watery Pass or Eblin Castle.
But he's heading
Or
into the Tower of Wishes. He wants Kane back.
well, yeah, I mean, being able to buy that knowing where that Avenger is, and being able to buy that, uh, yeah, that makes Kane very very powerful.
And Tybalt did equip the Dwarf Axe and then unequip it, put the Spear back on. Or, and he will be disappointed to learn the back row glitch not on.
Yeah, a lot of that is habit because so many flag sets do have that back row glitch. You just kind of do it out of you do it out of habit and muscle memory sometimes.
Yes. All right, and some momentary divergence. Tybalt heading into Baron Inn. Stony gonna put that off for now, maybe seeing if a Baron key will pop up out of the Twin Heart. And here is another key item. Demas in the first spot at Baron Inn, guarding an Edward.
Yeah, oh, there's Nuke
There's
and
Nuke.
Weak. And Weak. That's a heck of a level.
We'll need to go through Ogopogo in order to finalize it. But Nuke helps.
You know what the best way to deal with Ogopoga's Blaze counter is? Just take it out in one shot.
Exactly. Dynastic P in chat advocating for Spoonward. I wish. No spoon. The spoon flag. Wait, the spoon flag is on. So maybe.
The spoon flag is on, and Edward is is capable of utilizing the bows and arrows. So, isn't the worst character to have in your party. It's just that pesky HP curve with him.
Yeah.
You're not likely gonna get him to where you want to be to make him likely to survive in the Zeromus fight. And we did see gold apples for sale in shops, but those are 40 grand a piece. That's a lot of money on an S-quarter flag set.
It sure is. Well, everybody must get stoned for Stony in order to accelerate the advent of the harp music. Edward's going to play us a song. Enjoy. Bahamut tried to count along with the music, but only got to 5 before being cut down. That is a rat tail, which without a hook to help us access that, kind of a disappointing trip for Stony.
It's good to have it in case that hook shows up relatively soon. You've got it. You don't have to. You won't have to worry about it. And plus, anything that gets you closer to 10 key items, so you can get that double experience bonus. It's nice to have. So it's better than like another ninja star or something.
Speaking of items, Tybalt scouring Eblin Castle, picked up I believe it was a power rope from the 3 Mad Ogres. Not bad to have.
No, that'll be very nice on that cane. Once they get once they can get once they can get him up and get some levels on him. The Eblin Castle monster boxes are not very forgiving to a low level character.
No. The cruelest betrayal of all. Being attacked by a box.
The can of boxes are from the Dragon Quest series.
Look! Fu has Nuke on Stony side too.
Yeah, no, it's again, like both these runners kind of following each other's paths. Like Stony having the benefit of the twin harp now, the twin harp check being done. Tibble taking advantage of that MP underflow glitch. I apologize if I missed it. Did Tibble check the Mist Dragon item?
I don't believe he did. I think that check is still outstanding. So we'll see if that's on his route. I know he's fooled us before in thinking he's forgotten about it and then just routed it in.
Of note, that Fusoya is up to 1600 max HP, which means that pretty much fully powered up already.
Yeah. Before even heading underground. And Stony heading back into the weapon shop. I thought he was searching for something because I thought he made that check earlier, but decides no to the Dragoon Spears and other assorted implements of destruction. Sand Ruby. Nobody checked the bed while they were in Kaipo.
I believe Tybalt did.
Oh.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, it was Sid.
Ah, interesting. Probably not somebody that racers are going to be terribly interested in at this point.
Yeah, again, Sid, character that can take advantage of the bow and arrows, but not really, still not really getting that top end damage output that you'd like. Really better as a chemist as the game goes on, and we've got Fusoya to handle healing duty once we get to that point. So,
yeah, if he showed up as the second character right out of the gate instead of Yong, I think he'd be a lot more attractive to our runners. It might just be too late, coming up on the half-hour mark here.
Yeah, Sid, wonderful early game, but that drops off pretty much when you get into the go into the underground. So, still has some times where he shines, but you're not going to want to rely on him for your main damage.
Tybalt did pick up a Dragoon Spear and missed, by the way. And what a shop here in the Dwarf Castle. Bacchus wines and cabins in the same store, and Stony is scraping behind the couch cushions, whatever change they can come up with.
Yeah, this that's one of the things that I noticed, that I kind of noticed when I was playing through a couple practices of this flag set. The S Wild shops really make you decide, okay, what is my priority for purchasing and buying things? Because the cash is a very finite resource, and you have to make some hard decisions.
Stony sees a purple robe. Is it Mylon? Is it Mylon Z? You can't see the friends all dancing, but there might be friends underneath that coat. By the way, Tybalt did go shopping in Mist, but I don't think he checked Rydia's mom. I think that Sand Ruby's still outstanding for him. And this is Mylon Z for Stony.
Yeah, this
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 will
is
be another objective. Oh, and he ran out of arrows. Oops.
yeah. Fortunately, Fusoya going to be able to finish this up along with Kane. Curious to see. Yeah, there's those fire arrows that Stony bought earlier for this fight.
But Fire 2 cleans it up. It is always fun when there are no more arrows, and instead of being Sky Warriors, our party members are Sky Punchers. That
Yeah.
is a Sparkle. Cecil joining.
Ooh, some very nice summons that Rydia if she shows up in time.
And a very kind Blard. Fire 1. Fire 1 all, but still.
Yeah, in this spot, not the scariest for Wyvern, even with a more powerful ability.
Yeah, with a full-powered Mega Nuke could be some concern, but even that has a strong chance of whiffing at this spot. The magic power here, not high at all. And so Stony taking on Cecil.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's Cecil.
Yeah.
Use bow and arrows. I know that Stony. I think Stony found the light sword on Ordeals. I know
And-
Tibble sold his.
Yeah. And
but
I think Stony checked the Silvera shop and saw Excals for sale there.
There is the hook for Stony, so going to be able to take advantage of that rat tail. And yeah, this is a great time to be able to use the warp glitch because all of our bosses that we are looking for are accounted for. So
That's
you're
right.
not going to have to worry about leaving a boss in the sealed cave.
Yeah, forget about it. And there was only a Sorkrobe back there anyway.
Yeah, pretty good defense. Actually, somebody who can make very good use of that is Cecil.
Yeah, it'd be better if each runner didn't already have one from, I believe, Baron Air. And so Tybalt says, don't need you right now. Saying no to Cecil.
I can see that. I'd be inclined to take Cecil because of cover strats, but I kind of rely on those way more than I probably should. So that's just that's more of a personal bias and comfort rather than a necessity. Would like to welcome in Moonblaze Wolf, longtime friend of the community, coming in with a party of 12. Thank you very much for raiding us in. Hope your stream went well today.
Yeah, this is a fun flag set. This is Baron's Hero's Journey, the club started by Alchemy today. The focus is on Archer Rosa. So everybody, every enemy is floating. Every character is also floating. Rosa is kind of has the focus on her archering abilities, and to that end, she is forbidden from using any white magic.
So far, both these runners not really finding too much of a trouble because with the Skyward Dragon and early Fusoya, offense has not been a problem.
A Sparkle and Dr. Luge in the underground. The Sparkle could either be Pale Dim or D Lunars at this point. We've seen the others. Arty arrows for sale.
Well, that'll help with the Sparkle.
And so I didn't see what the free item was in the box in the underground. So I
Yeah, I did miss
regret
that
to
as
have missed
well.
that. Yeah. Sybil's going to go check the job dwarf, or at least all the boxes around the job dwarf. A personnel administrator. So that job dwarf administrating all of the other job dwarfs and all of the other seeds. That must be a very big job.
A Job Dwarf can handle it. I believe in Job Dwarf.
Paledin is the sparkle here, which means we may see some.
We'll see a couple, but we're also seeing some quad 9s from Rosa using those freshly purchased Artemis arrows. So, not going to see too many slow casts here.
Well, Tybalt is going to give us a look at what's in this box. It is the pan.
That's great to find now. You know, before
Yes.
you check Sylph Cave and go do Sheila 1, you can just wrap it all up at once. Another good shop here in the Fame Arch as well.
Yeah. And Tybalt falling flat on his face for some silk webs. Coffins would be nice, except there's not much that that's going to be necessary for.
Yeah. And is that a darkness? Was that a darkness crystal I saw from that Paledin fight?
Oh my goodness! Now the entire universe open. This has been a wide open seed from the jump, pretty much. And Stony gonna check 3 more key items. But how many more key items are there to go? I guess the only ones that are still outstanding are the 2 that we need: the Earth Crystal and the Baron Key, and also both parts of Forge.
Yeah, we've danced around everything we need for progression, but panel open up will be 3 checks. We do have the rat tail to turn in, so that's a good chance of having one. So likely going to see that. Notably, Tybalt did decide not to do the Paladin fight. So
Or the Lugae fight. Stony also didn't do the Lugae fight, but interesting one to leave behind.
Yeah, I can understand why. You know, that spot does hit pretty hard. So I can appreciate
takes a long time. You've probably heard everything from Lugae before. He thinks he's so clever. Oh, now the real fight. Oh, why couldn't the first fight be the real fight? Why are you wasting my time?
You know,
And
went through all the time getting that robot built. You know, you want to show it off.
Tybalt does finally visit Rosa's mom. Maybe, waiting until closer to the holidays. And there's one part of Forge, Adamant, and the Earth Crystal. Sheila's got the goods.
Sheila definitely has the good. That's 1.5 objectives right there. Now the question is, no, there's not much of a question. You do the Earth Crystal. You got to go. You got to do the objective. You might as well get it.
Got to climb that tower right now. I don't think there's even a question. Well, while Tybalt will be getting those items, and while Stony starts their climb up the tower, do want to thank our restreamer Alchemy, our tracker Falgran, and thank you, Rowdy Sniper. So much fun to be back for another community race season here on Final Fantasy IV. Free Enterprise. You want the schedule, the place you need to be is on the Discord. Go ahead and get there if you're not there already. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi YouTube, go ahead and check out the Discord so you can see approximately when these videos will be posted to YouTube and when they're live, and you can join us live based on that schedule. Chat is always fun and raucous.
And not only that, you can check out the other community clubs that we have in addition to the Baron Heroes Journey, and you can challenge yourself with various different flag sets and scenarios that our club coordinators have put together for us. And then you two can be here on Restream while Sheep and I have a good time talking and making silly jokes.
Yeah, there was a fun looking Survivor Heroes Island flag set earlier this week that certainly looked fun to participate in. And community clubs, fun to play, fun to watch, and you don't need to be a pro in order to just pop in, have fun. You don't need to commit to anything. Just kind of pick and choose what you want to do and have fun. That's really the heart of it.
Both these runners committing to the Tower of Zot play and checking the treasury. A lot of summons for that we can sell in that treasury, especially since we got both Bahamut and Leviathan already. Should we decide to take Rydia into the party, that's a lot of money. That will potentially get you close to that Avenger that Tybalt saw, or the X-Gal.
That is true. Yeah, that I think that treasury is money out of 10 if we're rating it.
Absolutely, because again, Escorter does limit the amount of the cash resources available to you. Getting those Bahamut summons that are still going to sell for pretty big good chunks of change, great to have.
Stony, seeing a purple robe, we know it is Mylon and friends here, and with that floating animation, at least one of the friends doesn't have a neck. That's a little disconcerting. But both of our runners have completed 2 goals, so they're tied in that particular scoreboard. You got to do all 5 in order to get the crystal. But Stony, certainly closer to completing 3, also has the darkness crystal that Tybalt does not have.
Yeah, Tybalt going back and getting the twin harp out of the way, going to get that rat tail. Stony getting through the Mylon and Friends fight.
Oh, it sounds like it's time for music, so it must be time for me to sing my award-winning rendition of the Mylon and Friends theme. Right? That's what that means?
Yes, no, I have no objections to this.
Tybalt spent longer doing laps in the crystal room than actually defeating Bahamut while being serenaded by Final Fantasy adventure music. Gets his rat tail. Meanwhile, Stony picking up a kid Could not pick up a duplicate food, not allowed, but picking up Hallam and defeating Antlion to complete their third objective. More than halfway there now.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to pick up Hallam. His usual benefit of having Quake relatively early, not going to come into play with the Sky Warriors flag on and making everything floating, but wouldn't when he does a grind here and gets him powered up and just throws nuclear fire at everything in front of him.
Now, we've been shouting out the really good shops with the S-Wild flag. Got to shout out the absolute trash shop that was the second Troya item shop. It had Bahamut Summon and Gaia Drums for sale, along with Big Bombs. Thanks. Hey there, Delilah. A plain white tea for Stony.
Hey, that would have been great for them when they did the Pildim fight, but more importantly, that rat tail does have the legend sword, so it's a good thing Tibble took the time to clear out that twin harp.
Yes. Twin harp, absolutely necessary. Never a doubt. It is half a forge. Stony now has both halves and can go forge, and now is on the hunt for the Baron Key. Moon almost haunted. The Baron Key could be up there. The Moon does have key items, but overall, there is still a chance that the Moon is not necessary except to get to Zeromus. Crystal Sword for sale.
Yeah, I think
Stony
optimistically selling the inventory, but that S quarter is going to make that very difficult to hit that target.
Yeah, Stony just needs 1.5 million, I think. So still has quite a ways to go.
Yeah, appreciate trying for it. Believe me, I'd be doing the same thing, hoping to get that, because even though it doesn't do any extra damage to flying enemies, it's still the Crystal Sword. And that was the Perseus bow as our weapon for our hero Rosa, which not what we were hoping for.
No. Perseus arrows would have been better, probably.
Yeah, the Perseus arrows do a lot of damage, and they, if I remember correctly, they are very strong against giants. But the Perseus bow, we're past the point where we want Rosa to go fast. So that extra agility that gives, if I remember correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, not really what we're looking for as we start focusing on trying to keep agility anchoring and preparing for that.
Yeah, and we're kind of past the point where the extra strength of the bow helps all that much compared with the extra strength the arrows provide to the other arrows that are available. And Stony summoning the big whale.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Dibble, mean what?
I do want to correct myself.
His party 3.
That's fine. Still doesn't have the darkness crystal for the for the moon or for the giant grinds that are available. So I can appreciate wanting to kind of keep the options open. And yet, just to correct myself, our Perseus bow is 110 attack and 15 will. There is no agility bow modifier there, so I stand corrected there. Sorry.
And Rydia is the moon character. Stony has no place for her, even if they wanted to.
Yeah, this may benefit Tybalt's strategy if Tybalt gets that heads back down to the Pale Dim and gets that Darkness Crystal. Um, be able to be able to have 3 nuke casters in the party for some pretty fun reflex strats on the final boss.
So Stony heading to the moon here. Roddy, what is your thought about going to the moon when you have this kind of power? When you do have a kid who needs some levels, but leaving some blue planet checks unchecked.
I like it. I believe Stony did pick up an Hourglass 3, which starting combined with that opening siren that the runners received, be able to get a good slingshot on Palom on the Gold Dragon fight if Stony so chooses. Also, just Sony's got 11 key items, so gonna get that double experience. Going to get powered up very quickly. Going to be able to get powered up very quickly, taking these boss fights. So I do like it. Obviously, the Luge fight at the King of the Fey March and the top of Tower are outstanding, but density is here on the moon.
I'm glad you agree with me that keyless tower play is outstanding. It really is. It's the play that works every single time. So, sorry to Stony, but hoping that this is the one time in the history of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, hoping for Stony, that keyless tower is not the play.
Well, I'm not running and making that check, so that does mean that does increase the chance it's going to have something, because I always seem to zonk on it.
Well, Stony is going to go where the key items are, or at least where the density is, and going to take on these floating Magus Sisters. And somehow, the Magus Sisters are even more terrifying when they're floating. Just visually, if nothing else.
that extra quarter inch that they're floating off the ground makes them all that more intimidating. They're just floating there, menacingly.
Why are they just floating there?
So this is a fairly scary spot to find the Magus Sisters, because they do get a lot of HP here, and particularly Cindy can be pretty tanky here, if I remember correctly. If I remember the HP distribution correctly.
Tiara's for sale in Eblan Cave.
Those are nice value pickups. 10 wisdom and resistance to thunder or lightning and dragons. Very nice to have. Also a curse ring.
That was a 750 Ice 2 on Rosa. So these sisters, no joke here.
Yeah, fortunately, getting Cindy and Mindy down. So just there we go. Big hit on Cindy there. Should be in good shape here, so long as the remedy doesn't come up. But yeah, that
2 quad 9s, 3 quad 9s, and finally Cindy taken care of. So a little a little edge of the seat, but Stony gets through at the first time of asking.
And just as importantly, keeping Palom up, so getting the full benefit of that experience on the ribbon room spot. So you saw 32 levels already, and there's our Baron key.
There it is. Stony's in go mode. Stony just needs to go liberate Baron Castle and then walk this again, unless the Baron Castle has the pass. And so, for the first time in Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise history, Helix Tower not the play.
Stony immediately beelining for Baron.
And our restreamer Alchemy pointing out in this flag set, where the most important thing is whether Rosa's aim can be true, Stony directly going precisely where they need to go. Just expert aim all around.
Yeah, absolutely. This flag set really hinges on the decisions the runners make, both with the cash investments that they make, but you know, little things like not checking forgetting to check misgave, or putting it off for too long, or like in Tybalt's case, deciding not to mess with the sparkle down in the Feymarch, having a big impact here.
And Stony heading to Baron Castle. Tybalt is going to see what the top of tower has. And Tybalt doesn't have as much of a choice as Stony did, because Tybalt has not taken on either of the Feymarch bosses, so doesn't know that the Darkness Crystal is lurking down there. So Tybalt, instead of playing Final Fantasy IV, is playing Earthbound.
Well, in a couple seconds, Tybalt will be playing with the dolls and breaking them very, very quickly.
Yeah, this is one where media would really be nice. Would take a long time to cast, but not like there's anything else you got to do.
Yeah, no, I do think that waiting for media is going to be a little bit faster here than trying to take out the dolls one by one. And looks like Tybalt does have that queued up on Fu, as I blinked and Stony took care of that Valvalis at the Baigan spot.
Yeah, that Stony took care of Valvalis quick as the wind. There's Ashura in the throne spot.
And yeah, I think still having those mute arrows from the Mega Centers fight, so
Goodness, and doing some inventory management while waiting for this crumble. Just been really impressed with Stony's performance here. Just really clean, really professional, doing a very good job.
Stony is playing very well, and that is one of those habits that if you can get into as you learn this game of managing your inventory rather than having to stop and go and fiddle with it, that's going to save you time in the long run as that becomes habit. Well, Tybalt getting a vanilla tower key and going to give us some leg.
Maybe. There's some leg. And this is... that's almost a frustration nuke. Like, coming up on an hour and I don't yet have everything I need. Somebody's going to pay for it. Stony gets the crystal for getting all of the objectives. And I missed what Stony got, but unless it's the pass, it does not matter.
Just an assassin's dagger.
So Stony will return to the whale and start walking.
Yeah, it'll be curious if Stony decides to get some extra experience or go with where they're at. I didn't get a chance to see where everybody's levels were.
Yeah,
so
from from the Magus Sisters fight, it didn't look like the kid got up to Nuke. It would have been double experience. It would have been a slingshot for a Palom, but I don't think he quite made it there.
Level 42 on Palom still looks like.
So a couple levels short.
Yeah, there are a few grind options in this flag set. We do have Fusoya in the party with weak, so the D machine, the traditional D machine grind would be on the table. Probably a little late for that, especially since the Stony already got the slingshot on Palom. You might see it. That might be what Tybalt's got in mind. By holding off and getting members of the party. But I think we'll probably see. Okay, yeah, looting monster boxes. This is going to be how they top off, and maybe get a holy sword for Cecil as well.
Yeah, I know. Stony would really like that to complete the ensemble, as it were. And I believe Tybalt, from the Tower of Babel, got first the tower key, and then, if I see it correctly, the Luca key. So, not a couple of keys, nothing necessary.
Yeah, I believe Tybalt also did the warp glitch to grab the item out of the back of the Seal Cave, so that's just...
And there's no need to check the boss down there.
Yeah, just a nice little souvenir.
Wrong kind of sword. That's a ninja sword for the edge that hasn't showed up. Could be a vanilla edge in Evelyn Cave. Nobody's gone back that far.
Yeah, I don't think Tybalt checked the shop. I don't think he went all the way. He didn't go all the way back there. It's either there or in the Giant. So we're likely not going to see Edge today.
Now, do you think Stony is going to check boxes until they get a Holy Sword, until they get Palom up to Nuke, both?
You know, I can see. I think I can see pulling. I can see calling it good on the grind as soon as if you do get the Holy Sword, because a Crystal Sword or even an X-Cal does enough damage on the final fight that you don't have to worry too much about levels after that point. Failing at that, yeah, I would say that once Palom gets nuked, that'll be good enough. Was that exact damage on Palom? Knock him down?
Oh, when they're good, they're good. Bimmy and Jimmy know what they're doing. Tybalt, meanwhile, did get the Darkness Crystal, is now summoning that whale.
The weak on Palom and just another plain white tea.
So while Stoney's going to search around here, do want to thank our restreamer Alchemy, our tracker Fallgran, for keeping track of a really hectic seed, and for providing us with a fun flag set. You know, I haven't missed Rosa's white magic at all.
No, you know, fortunately, you know, again, the beginning starter kit, you see those 70 life potions, 70 ether ones, and then getting that early Fusoya really helped, which is good because we haven't seen Porum yet either.
That's right. And Tella only came along in Baron Castle, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. So this could have been a little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, but that starting package, and Fusoya just being right there in Mist Village meant that he was able to carry the load, and he and Rosa really mopped the overworld up.
Looks like Stoney's going to be trying for getting multiple life glitches off of an Ice 2 cast, which I really like this strategy a lot. Getting a double life glitch here is going to be very helpful. That should get Palamonu, I think.
Gorgeous. That was very nice. A cool 240k. The white spell that she'll never get to use. Meteor and Nuke. Stoney is good to go.
Yeah. Stoney taking advantage of the Ice 2 having a fairly long cast time and getting a couple more characters an extra character in the queue for that life glitch and getting credit for an extra gold dragon. Very nicely done. Very heads up. Making the most out of that single siren that Stoney's got.
Yeah, you can't do it any better. And Stoney now going to prepare for that final fight. Did check Rosa's stats. I didn't see her agility. Stoney's eyes are quicker than mine, but it looks like they're satisfied with it. Or at least gonna deal with it.
Tybalt going through the Cave Bahamut and taking the static behemoth fights here rather than hunt for them in the monster boxes, which I do like. I do like this strategy a lot.
Yeah, and good time to use that Moonveil too.
Yeah, absolutely. That way Cecil can cover for everybody, even at level 1, and survive these behemoth hits without even feeling it.
But Stoney is making the walk toward the big boss at the end, and you know that there is one boss we have not encountered yet. He's always at the end of the seed. He's just too big, too smelly, too much to put him anywhere. So we give Zeromus a makeover at the end of every seed, and Roddy, I would be honored if you would do the honors.
I guess we have to ask ourselves the question: whose butt are we going to kick this afternoon?
Zeromus, not exempt from the floating.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if
everybody waiting with bated breath.
Is it cute? Is it scary?
Does it have a hat?
Or does it wear a hat? Are we gonna have to create one in order to kick it?
Is it mine? I hope it's mine. I have one in there. I don't know how many you have in the pool.
I am spriteless.
You gotta get a suggestion in there. Vatimus.
Vati from Minish Cap, if I remember correctly.
Ooh, that was leaving me asking, what is this? But I'm glad you are on top of it. Gonna do a direct slow cast on there. Didn't pick up any silk webs. Tybalt has one. Oh, and the nuke going on Callum, reflecting off of it. Hey, when a seed is your seed, those things happen.
Yeah, no, that's always
in
good.
That kind of scenario.
So that was a very fast shake leading up to that point.
Yeah.
Stony able to get somewhat set up, but and get that slow cast off, but
I want to say Rosa's agility is in like 50s. It's up there.
yeah, our tracker Fulgrim surmising that Rosa still has the heroin robe. I think you're right, but we're seeing quad 9 damage. Kane jumped for quad 9. Cecil being in the back row, getting hit by that lack of a back row glitch, so not swinging for as much of that defense sword, but he's chipping in.
Yeah, and the defense sword, if he couldn't find a holy sword, a defense sword, not bad. Probably the best of any non-holy sword. But not enough here.
Yeah, I would say oops, bit of miss menu there in that nuke cast, unfortunately, and that'll make these hybrid strats a little bit awkward here, combining both the melee damage from Kane, Rosa, and Cecil with reflected damage. Gonna try and nerf the Big Bang by hitting the crystal cat by using the crystal as an item. And yeah, I don't think there's a runner who hasn't missed menu doing an unreflected nuke like that.
Yeah, and Stony not panicking, kind of getting everything set back up. So still in position, that nuke not as high as it could have been. So Kane still on his feet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you have something like that, Stony doing the right thing, just staying calm, sticking with the strategy, not getting flustered, not panicking, handling it as best as you can.
Exactly. And Stony, I think everybody agrees, really been the cat's meow throughout this entire seed. This Big Bang coming in. Kane's gonna go down.
Ooh, that is unnerved.
It is. So Palom goes down as well. Rosa, of course, forbidden from using white magic here. Rosa gonna keep pumping out the damage. That Cure 4 comes in before the combo is able to come in. That could have kind of gone into rocks and been real scary. But Stony has 3 capable fighters up here.
Yeah, fortunately, Fusoya's Starveil had already dropped, so getting the full benefit of that Cure 4 rather than reflecting it back, but had a nice backup with Cecil throwing the Cure 3.
Yeah, and that's Cecil's role here, is providing all of these covering items. You can't take them with you, so you might as well use them.
Say that to the stack of 999 elixirs I've saved over the years. I might need it for the next fight.
Exactly. What if there's a super hard boss right after this? Rocks on Stony's side.
Stony getting rocks. Everybody dodging but Cecil. In pretty good shape here. Again, the extra damage that Rosa's doing with those bow and arrows, and there is the crack. There is the crumble. Vadimus is down, and Stony gets the win.
Stony coming in first in this Baron Hero's Journey. We have an official time of 1:15:47, and Stony in first place. GG's. And on Tybalt's side, we have floating pink puffs.
May not have won the race, but is definitely going to be the people's champion for this check.
Yes. Well, while we see if Stony will join us for an interview, Tybalt wants to make sure that nobody ever sees this race, because Tybalt wants to get that rare, ultra rare adamant drop and shut us down. And frankly, I think that's selfish.
You know, sometimes you just gotta meme. And that's okay. Don't let your memes be dreams, friends.
His anti-sheep launcher speaking strategy is unorthodox, but you can't argue with it. Did use that Hourglass 3, because when else are you going to use it? Can't use it against Zeromus. Does take down the Pink Puffs. That's a cool 160k experience, too.
Yeah, that, just shy of, Nuke on Palom.
Oh!
Getting a drop, which is rare in Final Fantasy IV. Unfortunately, not the drop we're looking for, but still, respect it.
I lived! So going to life up and head over to the ribbon room, and while he's making that preparation, Roddy, I don't know how much you've seen Stony around in the community, but that was a remarkably polished race from them.
Yeah, no, not just the fortune of making the right calls and going where the items were, which is the best time save of them all. But as you saw, just some very heads-up tactics, good use of the items that were available during the seed. That early heroine robe in particular helped clean up the overworld a little bit faster than Tibble did, even with that Fusoya a little bit faster. So, very well played.
Yeah, and it's good to have a little bit of luck. I'm thinking of Stoney's first moon check being that Baron Key. I'm thinking of that first new cast from Zeromus, but Stoney always seemed to be aware of their surroundings, aware of the situation, setting up for that Z fight. Not easy with Rosa being having as high agility as she did, but even with a slight misclick in that Z fight in particular, got it cleaned up very nice and was able to take care of everything. Just a really solid race from Stoney, a deserved win today.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that coming through the Z fight after the misclick, again, missed menus happen. If I had $1 for every missed menu I'd made, I'd have myself a very nice steak dinner. After all those times, but the composure, keeping the composure, keeping the wits together, that says a lot about the quality of runner that Stoney's becoming. That's really a very well done play there.
And so Tubba will return to the blue planet. And so, yeah, Stoney's aim was true in this particular flag set, and this is a fun one. And Stoney will actually get the chance to choose the next flag set in Baron's Heroes journey, and I wonder if Alchemy is around to talk to us about any potential flag sets that might be available here. Still waiting on the cash for that crystal sword.
There it is. I think the pink puff's delivered there. Yeah, Alchemy has been running the Baron Heroes Journey Club for a few years now. I know. Yeah, my personal favorite is I believe it was Porum's flag set where you don't use the you're not allowed to melee. You only use magic. Particularly was a fan of that flag set because that's very different way of playing the game.
It sure is. It sure is. It's almost as with a lot of this kind of era of Final Fantasy. It seems like the fight option is almost the default. So if you don't have that at all, it really jogs a part of your brain. At least for me, that really makes it interesting and makes it fun. Kind of tickles a different part of it.
Oh, absolutely, and that as a whole is why I enjoy the Baron Heroes Journey Club. The flag sets that Alchemy has put together, they highlight the different abilities that the characters have. You know, this one here, you know, you see just how good Rosa is as a melee attacker. She's not just a cure here to spam cure forward or blinks when you get in trouble. She can take the lead as a melee attacker with those bows and arrows. So I think that's really one of the strengths. That's really one of the fun parts about the club is that not only does it challenge you, but it teaches you about what the characters are capable of, and you know that's a good way to improve. I know I felt like I was a better runner after doing a few of the races.
Very much so, and it is kind of a delight, and one of the things that about Alchemy and her kind of focus on this club is how carefully she crafts the flag sets. One for story purposes, two for balance purposes, which is not always easy when you're doing hero flag set and wacky flag sets, right? It can kind of devolve sometimes, but even today, S Wild with the Cell Quarter flag, just a fascinating combination of flags to really test our runners' kind of budgeting and strategy. When you have the whole world available to you, one, you have to remember where you found everything, and two, you have to figure out where you're going to get the money to and how you're going to prioritize what you can buy.
Absolutely, you know, forcing to make some very difficult decisions that do have lasting impacts on the flag set, not just with the shopping, but with the permajoin option. You know, you saw Tibble basically full clearing the entire blue planet with 3 characters because holding off and waiting and wanting to maximize the experience on those 2 new characters. Again, showing off that you really don't need a full party necessarily to do what you need to do in this game.
Yeah, well, just waiting on the time when Alchemy decides, the commentators say you don't need a full party. What if I make it a max 3? How do you like that? Stony did show us the harp song, and Stony joins us now. GG's very well played on your win, Stony. What do you think of Rosa as the Archer Queen?
When you find a very early heroine robe, you kind of love her a lot.
That was a very clutch pickup there in the watery pass, and altogether, this was kind of a wide open seed, but you managed to go through it cleanly. Your what was your strategy for dealing, especially with the early part of the game?
Mainly, it's kind of doing the checks that you can do early. Doing the normal antlion into Fabul into ordeals is kind of my usually go-to, depending on what else I got going on. I didn't see any characters early that I wanted to take with me, so I was just kind of running with the Rosa for the most part. But there's really no strategy sometimes. Sometimes you just got to go on a whim and just make decisions in the moment.
Yeah, I guess the two characters who showed up semi early were Kane, who was available on Mount Hobbs, and Fusoya, who was available from the beginning of the game with that package. With this flag set, they seemed like tailor made to help your Bafo Rosa kind of take you through the overworld.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of me just kind of forgot that Kane's lances are a little extra powerful with everything with the flying bit on it. So at one point, I started realizing it's like, oh wait, Kane's powerful to everything. And then getting that Dragoon Spear later on kind of helped with the Z fight at the end with the extra damage she was able to put out.
One of the things that kind of defined this race was the fact that you took the Pale Dim fight at the Queen of Feymarch spot relatively early. What pushed you to? What gave you the confidence to say, "Yeah, I can do this fight"?
I originally didn't have any confidence of doing it, but when I hit that weapon shop and saw the Artemis arrows there, I was like, I'm pretty sure I can take this. So that one little bit right there was able to give me the confidence to know that I could take it. If those Artemis arrows weren't there, I was not taking that fight.
And that kind of pushed you to the moon once you kind of took care of the free checks on the blue planet. This is, for as wide open as the seed was, the really important key items all came in a bunch. How did that make you feel?
Being that I am very typically last locationing everything, when I decided to go to the moon, hit the ribbon room, I figured I would use the ribbon room to slingshot Palom up. And then when the Baron key dropped, I was kind of like in panic because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew that Excalibur was sitting in the Silvera weapon shop, but I kind of forgot what the price was, and when I went over there, it ended up being a little too rich for my blood. So I just kind of moved on from that too.
And the other thing I wanted to ask about was that Z fight. Your Rosa was blazing fast, and yet you were able to rope in Zeromus for the most part. How did you think your Z fight went?
Other than Fu getting hit in the face with the nuke, I thought the fight went pretty well. When I saw the 39 agility, I was debating whether or not I should take the heroin robe off, but I think that still would have put me at 26, so it still would have been an ideal situation. So I just ran with the agility, hit V with the flow, and just hope for the best.
Yeah, worked out. Both Sheep and I were were very impressed with how well you kept your composure after the miss menu with Fu, and then the unnerved Big Bang very soon afterwards. You did a heck of a job keeping that fight together when it could have gone sideways very quickly.
Yeah, thank you. When that Big Bang came through and I knew it was unnerved, I was just waiting for everybody to drop. But luckily for me, I was able to have 3 people survive it, despite the un the un sorry, the bad HP pools that I had at that time.
So you get to choose the flags for next week's set. Anything in particular you want to inflict on your competitors?
Oh, I didn't realize that was an option. I don't have anything in mind right now, but I will look at it and I will make sure everyone is really enjoying what I come up with for them.
That seemed a little too evil.
Not me at all. And what you can't see is me rubbing my hands together.
It's one of those ones where you can just kind of hear it in coming through the chat here. GG to Tybalt, GG to Tybalt, getting through the Zeromus fight, beating Vadimus, and getting through this seed with the final time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG.
GG to Tybalt.
And so, Roddy, any final questions for Stony before we let them go?
No questions. Again, just very nicely run seed. A lot of little things and good habits that you're showing here that are going to really were impressive. The menuing during the crumbles, the ice 2 for the double life glitch on the gold dragon fight, just very well run all around.
Thank you. I'm glad I was able to put on a show that normally doesn't typically happen when I'm racing behind the scenes. So I am very thankful, and I thank y'all for featuring me, and thank y'all for the restream. And y'all are a great community, and I love being a part of it.
And GG's, all credit to you, Stony. GG's for winning the inaugural Baron's Heroes Journey for this off season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we'll see if we can get Tybalt in here for a word. And it looks like Tybalt is joining us. GG's, Tybalt.
GG's. That's always fun.
I really don't like facing Pale Dim either. So that's
Fey March. I had 3 people. I'm like, I don't want to do the Fey March. I have plenty of other things to do. Like, I've got Pan Turn-In, Pan Bonk, Sheila, Twin Harp. Like, I had tons of stuff to do before taking on that Fey March.
Well, the first thing I wanted to say, Tybalt, is we're still here. You didn't get us.
Not close. I got an item drop.
You made my heart jump a little bit, but
hey, my heart jumped a little too. I'm like, oh, music continues on. Music continues. Aww.
Well, you got that foo very early on. And the nuke came relatively early for Foo, so with him and Rosa, that overworld was mincemeat for all of you.
Yeah, like Foo, a virus. It's like, oh, Foo, I'm gonna. Oh wait, I can't. Quake, Sky Warriors, right?
But you made very good use of the underflow glitch and getting a lot of those mediocasts out there to...
Oh, I gotta throw rocks. Second to last location of darkness did not feel great. I knew where my finances were going to come from, because I'm like, I've got an Avenger out there, I've got both the X-Cal and Sea Sword, like, I know what I've got for finances. I'm going to take on those behemoths. It's a lot of money. Plus they're flying. Cecil can cover with the Moon Veil. Those are free fights.
Yeah, and that was very nice. Did you miss Rosa's white magic, or did you really enjoy exploring this facet of her ability?
I really didn't miss much from Magic. The only thing I really missed from her is like Blink and Berserk early on. But I had Fu. Fu can do it all. So I didn't miss her magic that much. Like at the end I'm like, what's Rosa gonna oh wait, she's not gonna like never mind. I mean only really at the end do you really miss it, because early on you're not gonna see that much with her.
Sure. Well, that was a really interesting seed, and I guess what do you think of Sky Warriors as a wacky flag? Did that make Kane more valuable to you? How did that kind of change your approach?
Oh yeah, once it's like, wait, Skywars, Kane has spears. Spears do extra damage to flying. He's more viable than the guy. Wait a minute. Because you're always thinking like the guy's the best, and then you think, oh wait, if I want to use Skywars to its fullest effect, I have to keep a bow and arrow on the guy. No, I don't want to do that.
And then
Spears!
you have to remember which hand gets the bow and which hand gets the arrows.
Oh, you don't get me started on that. I always forget.
So you did eventually pick up the guy after basically full clearing the entire overworld with those 3 party members. I'm guessing that was hoping for that slingshot on the moon, or any particular.
A little bit of that.
Or just not sure which route you wanted to go.
Well, a little bit of the slingshot, but also like, why do I want extra party members in my party if they're not going to be doing anything? They're just going to take up action space. Like, I can get back to Fu's turn. I don't have to parry off of somebody or knock them down. I can just, hey, Fu, just go. And it just like next turn comes up, Fu, I don't have to parry off. It's just a way to minimize actions. Action economy, we love to call it. So once I knew I was ready to grind and go, I'm like, okay, I'll go grab the Cecil, I'll grab the Palom just as somebody else, and then let's just go. Was the pass ever found?
No, we did not see the pass.
No.
Okay. Because there was hardly any key items on the moon. I was getting a little scared.
I think just the spoon and the Baron key were up there, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Spoon, Baron key, and probably the pass, because I never checked the Doctor luggage. Everything else on the planet was cleared.
Yeah, no one did. So yeah, I didn't see it in the glossary, but
well, it's not gonna be a spoiler like it ever is.
Yeah, exactly. That's so it had to have been, because you didn't check the Ogopogo spot.
Nope.
Yeah.
Straight to Ribbon Room. 2 key items.
Yeah, it was either there or the Crystal Sword Altar, or Dr. Luge, I think. Or the Baron's Throne, I guess.
Yeah, Baron Basement, yeah. So I'm guessing Stony got an early Darkness Crystal?
Stony did get the Darkness Crystal. Did check that Pale Dim, yeah.
No.
Yeah, they found Artemis arrows in that weapon shop in the Fey March.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I had Dragoon Lance. I could have probably taken it on, because I would have had the Dragoon Spear and a Moon Veil. And that makes that fight free. So, like, yeah, wild shops sort of thing. But it was a 50-50 of what was going to be there. It was either going to be Pale Dim or D-Lunars. At that point for me, I'm like, if it's D-Lunars, I really don't want to take it out of its Pale fine. But again, I've got 6 other things I can do right now that are free.
But wild chops and an S quarter is the ultimate. I is too big for your stomach. Kind
Yes.
of like that.
Well, especially when you get all those really nice things early on in shops, like the Avengers, the Zeus gauntlets, the Bacchus. It's like, I want money. Where's no money? Plus T-Pro. That also hurt too.
Yeah, both of you have those moments in the shops where you can just see the grabby hands going for the Avengers, the Excaliburs, and just going, all right, fine, I won't get it.
That's why I did the Evelyn monster boxes, was to get, finances for that Avenger for Kane, or at least a Dragoon Spear, something to get him going early on. I'm a little upset when I got a Dragoon Spear from Bach and Yang.
That's right. That's right.
It was
All
very
right.
straightforward, see, but it still had some jokes.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
These are always fun to do.
including Keyless Tower getting the tower key and the Luca key. That was
Yeah.
jokes.
I'm like, okay, this Luca Key's probably on the moon. Luca Key shows up. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Sybil, any final thoughts on the inaugural Baron's Heroes journey for this offseason?
I am glad to see this coming back. I have always enjoyed Baron Heroes Journey. I get up early just to be able to run this club on the weekends. I've always thoroughly enjoyed it. I've played every single season, almost every single race that I can. Alchemy does amazing job with flag sets that are geared towards characters. So it's something that you can definitely check out. It's easy to get into. And if you don't do the main objective, that's fine. It's just a little bit extra challenge. But, thanks for doing the restream, the commentating, the tracking. I know I played some jokes on some of you at times. But, yeah, thanks.
You mean that Demus, that dancing around the Demus was planned?
Yeah! Yeah. 100%.
Well, GG's, Sybil, great to see you in the community once again, and we'll see you on a future restream soon.
100%. I'll be here.
And our next restream will be coming up this week. As we mentioned, check the Discord for when that will be. The new times on the restreams will be posted there momentarily. Do want to thank one more time our restreamer and the matriarch of this community club, Alchemy, our tracker, Fallgren, and thank you, Rowdy Sniper, for commentating with me today. This was a blast.
Absolutely, Sheep. I always enjoy calling these races with you, so glad to have the opportunity here this afternoon.
And we're going to head over to Power Up with Pride. They're doing a speed running marathon. They are a great friend of the community. Hopefully, the FF4 community can go over there and show them how great we are, how great they are. They are currently doing Diddy Kong Racing, surprisingly underrated soundtracks. So definitely have some fun with that. So join us in the Discord. Until next time, so long.
Thank you all.